just look at the board. Here now in this class I am going to give you certain points related to surds. You just note down these as formulae to solve problems of your practice sheets related to nth roots as well as surds. Okay. Surds. Before going to define surds, we need to learn about nth roots. And nth roots is just conversion of exponents, just like addition and multiplication. No, just like addition and subtraction. And in the same way, just like multiplication and division. See, exponents and nth roots are both acts, okay? Exponents can be expressed as nth roots also can be expressed as exponents. For suppose if you have an exponent a power n is equals to b, then if you send this power n to the other side, it becomes 1 by n. Then in the sense this power will become reciprocal, okay? So a is equals to b power 1 by n and we notate it like nth root of b. So nth root of b is b power 1 by n. So a power n is equals to b is simply nothing but a is equals to nth root of b. You just observe these two. If you replace b as a power n here, you will get nth root of a power n as a, which is nothing but a power n power 1 by n. And in the same way, if you replace a is equals to nth root of b here, nth root of b power n is b. I think you are all familiar with these two notations related to the nth roots. For suppose if you have, I will say some number, okay, some fourth root of 7 to the power 4. Fourth root of 7 to the power 4 is simply what? 7 itself. And in the same way, if somewhere you have seventh root of some 9 power 7 is simply nothing but 9. Okay, see these two are the very basic laws to remove nth root, okay. And the next thing is multiplication of nth roots. Nth root of a into nth root of b is nth root of ab, and nth root of a by nth root of b is nth root of a by b. We don't have such formulas for addition and subtraction, right? And then see, nth root of a is equals to mnth root of a. As we said, this nth root means power 1 by n, nth root means power 1 by m, and with the help of laws of exponents we can combine those two, 1 by m and 1 by n, so that become mnth root of a, right? And the next thing is nth root of a is equals to mnth root of a power m. Very useful law. See, related to the nth roots, this n is mentioned as the order of the nth root. If n is equals to 2, it is square root. If n is equals to 3, cube root. If n is equals to 4, fourth root. Like that, this n is what? Order of the nth root. And see, this law helps in changing the order of those nth roots. For suppose if I have cube root of 7, there is a chance to change this order, okay. See, cube root of 7, I will just multiply this 3 with 4 for suppose, then it become like a 12th root of 7 power 4. See, 12th root of 7 power 4 is equals to cube root of 7, both are equal. The values of these two are equal, but this is of third root and this is of 12th root, okay. So all these are different formulas related to the nth roots, and we need to revise addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of nth roots along with this order change. Order change, I already mentioned you here, nth root of a is simply nothing but mnth root of a power m. These two numerically same, but here that order is n, there that order is mn, which is very useful to change the order. And changing order is very important in adding those nth roots, in subtracting those nth roots, and in comparison of nth roots. Why? Because while addition, subtraction and comparison of these nth roots, or the next thing is surds, we need to go with the same order of surds. And for that same order, we need to use what? This order change. Order change happens according to this particular rule. Nth root of a is equals to mnth root of a power m. So these are some basic laws related to the nth roots. Okay, just have a look. So in first point we learned about the laws of nth roots and the definition of nth root. Here I am going to give you the definitions and some examples related to this one. Definition of surd and along with the types of surds. First thing is definition of a surd. What is a surd? See, surds can be defined in two ways. Surds can be defined in two ways. One way, we have nth roots, right? As we let nth roots. For suppose if you have nth root of a number, say it as b, nth root of b. This nth root of b value may be rational, may be irrational. Okay, this nth root of b value may be rational and may be irrational. That means the value not belongs to rational number system. See, if this value belongs to this rational number, it is a rational value. If this value does not belongs to a rational number, then in this case concept of surd arises. For example, if you say nth root of, not like that, if you say cube root of 8, cube root of 8 value is 2 and which belongs to q, so this is not a surd. Whereas if you take something like fourth root of 27, fourth root of 27 does not belongs to q, so it is a surd. So simply surd is nothing but a number of the form nth root b which is not in rational number system. Okay, so this is one idea. And other way of understanding surd is, usually we know irrational numbers. Irrational numbers means what? Neither terminating nor repeating decimals. We are familiar with the irrationals. Irrational numbers means not rationals, and those irrational numbers are neither terminating nor repeating decimals. When you define irrationals from decimals aside, we mentioned that neither terminating nor repeating decimals are considered as irrationals. And among those irrationals, some numbers are of the format decimal form. Some numbers are in decimal form. Okay, and there are some numbers of the format like this, 7th root of 2, as well square root of 3. Okay, all these are also irrationals, and irrationals of this format are considered as surd. I think you know what is root 3. Root 3, we don't have any exact value for root 3. We will have approximate value, and there is a procedure to find the value of root 3. Okay, I think you all know root 2 value is 1.414 something. Approximately we consider root 2 as 1.414, and root 3 value is 1.732 something, and approximately we consider it as 1.732. So all these are neither repeating nor neither terminating nor repeating decimals. So we consider these in irrational numbers, but since these are of the format this nth root b, they are also considered as surds. Okay, see, both these definitions, and both in two ways we just understand the surd. Both the ways are same. A number of the form nth root b which is not in rationals is considered as a surd. That's the definition of a surd, right? And then what is meant by a pure surd, mixed surd, simplest form, compound surd, like surd and unlike surds? We need to discuss one by one. Okay, I think definition of surd is clear for everybody. Okay, right. So you just take different numbers and try to check whether it is rational or not. If it is not rational, consider it as a surd. Okay, right. Coming to the concept of pure surd and mixed surd. Pure surd, mixed surd. Pure surd is also mentioned as entire surd. The word itself is mentioning that entire surd, and it is what? Mixed surd. Okay. For suppose if I have a number like square root of 200. Square root of 200 is a surd because there is no exact value in rational numbers for that square root of 200. And you just try to simplify this. I will simplify it like this: square root of 2 into 100, and this is equals to root 100 is 10, so this is 10 root 2. See, root 200 value is equals to 10 root 2, and here this root 200 is considered as pure surd or entire surd, whereas this 10 root 2 is considered as mixed surd. That's it. Okay, for suppose if I will give you one more example. For suppose if you have cube root of 4 power 5. If you have cube root of 4 power 5, okay, this can be written as cube root of 4 cube into 4 square. As we discussed, cube root of 4 cube value is 4. into cube root of 16. This cube root 4 power 5 is considered as a pure set, whereas this 4 into cube root 16 is considered as mixed set. And the next thing is simplest form of a set. Simplest form of a set is according to the situation. Okay. So usually simplest form for this cube root of 4 power 5 is 4 into cube root 16. We will simplify as much as possible. And for square root of 200, the simplest form is 10 root 2. So simplest form of a third is nothing but we will try to eliminate that third format. We will try to simplify this as much as possible. Okay. These are also considered as simplest form of sets. Okay. And the next thing is compound set. Compound set is nothing but the combination of sets. For example, as I mentioned you, root 2, root 3, cube root 7, all these are sets, right? And since there are, see, only one single terms are appearing here, we call them as monomial sets. Okay, these are monomial sets. I think we are all familiar. And for suppose if you combine any one or two, for suppose if I write root 3 plus cube root 7, root 3 plus cube root 7, two terms are involved, it is a binomial set and we consider it as a compound set. For example, root 2 plus cube root 10 minus 4th root 11 plus 5. See, four different terms are involved here and we consider it as a compound set. Not only that, if you have same ordered sets, for example, root 7 plus root 3 minus root 2 is also a compound set. Compound set consists of more than one term and all these are considered as compound sets. And the next thing is like sets and unlike sets. Like sets and unlike sets means if, see, the irrational part is same in the sets, then we consider it as a like sets. Okay, for suppose if you take root 7, 2 root 7 minus 7 root 7, all these are considered as like sets. For suppose if you take root 7, root 11, they are what? They are unlike sets. Not only this, for example, if I have root 7, cube root 7, 4th root 7, these are also considered as unlike sets. Like sets means, see, root 7, 2 root 7 minus 7 root 7, like this they appear, then we consider them as like sets and these are unlike sets. Okay, I think everything is clear. You just try to mention 2 to 3 examples in our one. For set, for pure set, for mixed set, simplest form of sets, as well compound set, like sets and unlike sets. Okay, have a look. And one more thing required to mention here is addition and subtraction of sets. Okay, see, addition and subtraction is possible only for like sets, not for unlike sets. Root 7 plus root 11, if you add, that is simply root 7 plus root 11. There is nothing to move further. But whereas for if you have root 7 and 2 root 7, if you wish to add these two, then you can mention it like 3 root 7. That in the sense addition is possible for the sets of like sets, and for unlike sets addition and subtraction is not possible. Whereas multiplication is possible for sets of same order. Okay, multiplication is possible for sets of same order. For suppose if I have root 7 into root 11, as we discussed different laws at nth roots, this can be expressed as root 77. But whereas root 7 into cube root 11, we don't have a chance to multiply these two because orders are different. You just try to make these two as same order sets, then go with the way of multiplication as you learnt at nth roots. Okay, so this is something about set, types of sets, and then addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of sets. And in the next point, I will mention you about the comparison of sets. So comparison of sets. See, you just look here. I have some simple problems to explain you about the comparison of sets. Okay, using this I will compare. Okay, and the first one, just look here, 7th root of 18 and 7th root of 21. For these two sets, order is same as 7. Since order is same, and this is 7th root of 21 and this is 7th root of 18, and for sure, see, since 18 is the lower number, least number, and 7th root of 18 is the least. So 7th root of 18 is less than 7th root of 21. That much simple. If surds are of same order, then you just compare that part of 18 and 21. Since so 7th root of 18 is less than 7th root of 21. And the next thing, see, this is 11th root of 2021 and this 13th root of 2021. Now this 2021 is same. Orders are different. This is 11th root and that is 13th root. How to compare? See, in this case, since 11 is least, this 11th root of 2021 is greater and this 13 is more, that 13th root of 2021 is the least. So if you compare these two, 13th root of 2021 is less than 11th root of 2021. Okay. So if surds are of same order, just compare these numbers 18 and 21. If surds are of different order and this part if it is same, then you need to follow the different opposite order. Okay, but I will give you one more example for you. For suppose, just think about square root of 64 and cube root of 64. Square root means second root, right? Square root of 64 value is 8, whereas cube root of 64 value is 4. See, when you compare this 2 and 3, 2 is least but its value 8 is more. 3 is more but its value 4 is less. That in the sense, see, while comparing surds of this format, you need to maintain opposite order with the orders. Okay, see, 11 is lesser, so 11th root of 2021 is greater. That's it. And the next problem, see, cube root of 4 and 4th root of 3. See, when you observe this particular problem here, see, orders are different as well as these numbers are also different. You just try to analyze these three problems. Here orders are same, here orders are different, but this part is same. Here everything is different. So we need to rewrite these two surds to make these with the same order. Since it is cube root of 4 and it is 4th root of 3, so in this orders are 3 and 4, I will make these two surds of same order, which is the multiple least common multiple of this 3 and 4. See, what is the first surd? Cube root of 4. I will rewrite it like 12th root of 4 power 4. As I said, to change the order, if you multiply this 3 with 4, you need to write it like 4 power 4. And the next thing is 4th root of 3, right? 4th root of 3. Again, I am trying to make it a surd of 12th order. So multiply here with 3, so 12th root, and it will become like 3 cube. And this is equals to 12th root of 4 power 4 is 256, and this is 12th root of 3 power 3 is 27. Now these two surds are of same order, so it is easy for us to compare. So 12th root of 27 is lesser, that means 4th root of 3 is lesser. So finally I conclude that 4th root of 3 is less than cube root of 4. So this is the way of comparison between two given surds. Okay, just have a look. And when you observe first three problems, here the surds given are monomial, whereas coming to the last two problems, here the surds given are binomial. There is a different way to compare binomial surds, and I will mention that way also. Just have a look. Next thing is comparison of these two surds, root 11 plus root 12 or root 10 plus root 13. Comparison of these two surds is possible if you square these two. And one more thing here you need to observe is 11 plus 12 is 23, as well 10 plus 13 is also 23. If summations of these two are same, that like 11 plus 12 23, 10 plus 13 23, then you need to think about the product, 11 into 12 and 10 into 3. Okay, so you just think about the product, 11 into 12 and 10 into 3. Why we are thinking about the product? This is possible just by squaring these two. Square this first surd, you will get that 11 plus 12 plus 2 root 11 into 12. Again square this, you will get 10 plus 13 plus 2 root 10 into 13. So this number 11 plus 12 is 23, that number 10 plus 13 is 23. Since it is same, neglect it. 2 into something, so 2 is also same, neglect it. Then you just pay attention on this product. What you say about 10 into 13 is 130, very clear. And 11 into 12. See, 110 and then 22. That means 132. So this 132 is greater, right? Since 132 is greater than 130, the number corresponding to 132, which is root 11 plus root 12, is greater than root 10 plus root 13. This is the way of comparison for surds if summation is same. Okay. Whereas when you think about this, here 18 plus 17 is not equals to 23 plus 22. Okay. And we will compare these surds just by observing the difference. 18 minus 17 is just 1. 23 minus 22 is also just 1. Okay, and for suppose, how can we compare? See, consider first surd, which is root 18 minus root 17. What I do is, I will multiply this root 18 minus root 17 with a root 18 plus root 17 and then I will divide. So, root 18 minus root 17 into root 18 plus root 17 divided by root 18 plus root 17. Okay, just multiplication and division. So both sides are balanced. And now this side, a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. So 18 minus 17 is 1. So this side we have 1 divided by root 18 plus root 17. In the same way, if you simplify this, root 23 minus root 22, you will get it as 1 by root 23 plus root 22. Now you just think about both denominators. Here 18 is smaller than 23, as well 17 is smaller than 22. That indicates that this root 18 plus root 17 is smaller than this denominator. Since this denominator is smaller than this denominator, this fraction is greater than this fraction. Since this fraction is greater, its corresponding surd is greater. So root 18 minus root 17 is greater than root 23 minus root 22. Usually these two are standard problems in comparison of surds. So these two are enough to understand. Okay, just have a look. One problem, for this problem, we will compare these two just by squaring both sides. Whereas this problem, we compare these two surds just by rewriting that root 18 minus root 17 as 1 by root 18 plus root 17. So for binomial surds, we have only these two models in comparison of surds. Whereas for monomials, we have these three models in comparison. So these are enough to understand the comparison between two sets. Just have a look and then I will mention about rationalizing factor. Okay, have a look. Rationalizing factor of surds. As I mentioned, surd is not rational number, surd is an irrational number. Okay, see, for example, I have a surd 1. This is irrational, it is not rational. I have another surd 2. This is also irrational. But if I multiply these two, the result is a rational number. So product of two surds, if it is rational, this surd 1 is considered as rationalizing factor of surd 2. Whereas this surd 2 is considered as rationalizing factor of this surd 2. Okay, this surd 2 is considered as rationalizing factor of surd 1. I will give you simple examples. For example, I have number root 2. I have another, this is a surd root 2. I have another surd root 3. If I multiply these two, the result is root 6. Root 6 is not rational. So this is not helpful in identifying rationalizing factor. But whereas if I take root 2 and if we multiply this root 2 with another root 2, root 2 into root 2 is 2. So 2 is rational number, we know it. And so this root 2 is rationalizing factor of that root 2 as well as that root 2 is rationalizing factor of this root 2. See, not only one. For example, if I have root 2, if I multiply root 2 with root 8, root 2 into root 8 is root 16, which is equals to 4, belongs to rational numbers. Then in this case, root 2 is considered as rationalizing factor of root 8, whereas root 8 is considered as rationalizing factor of root 2. Okay, so in this way, if you think, one number root 2 has many rationalizing factors, not only one. Okay, so this is something about the rationalizing factor. Basically, if product of two surds is a rational number, then those two surds are considered as rationalizing factors of one another. I will give you some simple examples for monomial surds to identify the rationalizing factor. Since we are trying to get a rational number, we need to get a balanced number in the root. Okay, for suppose if I have cube root 7, and what you say about the rationalizing factor of cube root 7? See, because there is only one 7 in the cube root, but to make it rational we need 3 sevens in the cube root. So its rationalizing factor is simply nothing but cube root 7 square. That much simple. Okay, first suppose I will give you one more problem, and that is, for example, if I have 11th root of 3 power 8. If I have 11th root of 3 power 8, I need 3 more 3's to make it 11 inside. So its rationalizing factor is simply 11th root of 3 cube. Okay. And for example, I have another number. 17th root of 2 power 30. 17th root of 2 power 30. Since it is 17th root, to get a rational number, as a result, we need to multiply 2 power 30 with 2 power 4, because 30 plus 4, 34 is a multiple of 17, right? And that's why 17th root of 2 power 30, its rationalizing factor is 17th root of 2 power 4. You just multiply these two. If you multiply these two, the product will become 17th root of 2 power 34, and result is a rational number. So see, this is very simple to identify the rationalizing factor for monomial sets. Okay, in generally, if you have nth root of some a, its rationalizing factor is simply nothing but nth root of a power n minus 1. Why? Because if you multiply this a and a power n minus 1, it becomes a power n. Nth root of a power n is a rational number. So this is rationalizing factor of the nth root a. Okay, you just observe this. And rationalizing factor also can be mentioned in like this. For example, if you have a number of the format, something like 13th power 1 by 4. Since it is 13 power 1 by 4, its rationalizing factor is simply nothing but 13 power 3 by 4. Why? Because if you add this 1 by 4 and 3 by 4, see, to mention rationalizing factors we need to check product. If you multiply these two, the result is a rational number. How it is possible? Since if you add these two, the result is 1. And so the rationalizing factor of this 13 power 1 by 4 is 13 power 3 by 4. In general, if you have a number, some p to the power 1 by n, its rationalizing factor is simply nothing but p power n minus 1 by n. Okay. So, see, these two are same actually. So, in this way, usually we will mention rationalizing factors for monomial sets. And the next point, I will give you the rationalizing factors for binomial sets of order 2, of order 3, of order 4, of order 6, and then for trinomial sets and everything in further points. Just have a look, get an idea about the rationalizing factor, and try to identify the rationalizing factors of monomial sets easily. Okay, that's about this fourth point. Have a look, make a screenshot. That's for this class. See, just now we discussed 4 different points, and in fourth point I mentioned you about the rationalizing factor, definition of rationalizing factor as well rationalizing factor for a monomial set. Basically, rationalizing factor means if product of two sets is a rational number, then those two sets are mentioned as rationalizing factor of one another, right? So as we discussed in the last class, for suppose if we have a set of the form nth root a, then its rationalizing factor is nth root of a power n minus 1. Okay, this is we learned from fourth point, and now I am going to mention rationalizing factor for some binomial sets, and then as well for some trinomial sets like that I am going to mention. For suppose if I have a set of the form root a plus root b. Okay, what is the rationalizing factor for this root a plus root b, and what is the rationalizing factor for a minus root b? what is the rationalizing factor for cube root a plus cube root b? And what you say, one more thing, I will mention fourth root here, right? What is the rationalizing factor for fourth root a plus fourth root b? In the same way, rationalizing factor for eighth root a minus eighth root b. Okay, you just have it, and then I will give you the rationalizing factor for cube root a plus cube root b and cube root a minus cube root b, along with rationalizing factor for sixth root a plus sixth root b. Okay, so rationalizing factor means product of two surds is a rational number, then we call those two as rationalizing factors of one another. Here I have root a plus root b. I need to search for another surd such that the product of this one and that the new one will become the product as a rational number. Okay, this is surd 1. We need to identify surd 2 as rationalizing factor of this one, so that this surd 1 into surd 2 will become a rational number. Okay, you just think about all these things, try to identify rationalizing factors for this, and I will mention in a minute. Just look there on the board. See, for root a plus root b, its rationalizing factor is root a minus root b. Why? Because if you multiply these two, root a plus root b into root a minus root b, if you multiply these two and use x square minus y square formula, you will get a minus b as your answer, which is a rational number. Since the product of these two is a rational number, rationalizing factor of root a plus root b is root a minus root b, and the rationalizing factor of root a minus root b is root a plus root b. Okay. Likewise, we need to check as well for the next problem, a minus root b and a plus root b. You just try to multiply these two, and if you multiply these two and use x square minus y square, again you will get your answer as a square minus b, which is a rational number. And so, rationalizing factor of this a minus root b is a plus root b, as well for a plus root b it is a minus root b, right? And for the next one, fourth root a plus fourth root b. This is square root and this is fourth root. We are going to find the rationalizing factor for fourth root a plus fourth root b. First of all, you need to reduce its order from fourth root to second root and then use same logic. For that, since it is fourth root a plus fourth root b, if you multiply this fourth root a plus fourth root b with this fourth root a minus fourth root b, for this product, again use this x square minus y square. You will get square root a minus square root b, and that square root a minus square root b, if you multiply with this square root a plus square root b, the result is a rational number. See, you need to use this x square minus y square as x plus y into x plus x minus y repeatedly to make the product as a rational number. Here I have 8th root a minus 8th root b. If you multiply it with 8th root a plus 8th root b, it becomes of the order 4th root. And then if you multiply with 4th root a plus 4th root b, it becomes of order square root. And then if you multiply with root a plus root b, the value is a minus b, a rational number. And so, the rationalizing factor for this 8th root a minus 8th root b is this product. As well, cube root a plus cube root b. This time, you need to use x cube plus y cube formula. And as well, you need to use x cube minus y cube for the next one. As per the requirement, we need to move with those formulas. Okay. See, we have x cube plus y cube as x plus y into x square minus xy plus y square. So, this cube root a plus cube root b into cube root a square minus cube root ab plus cube root b square is of the format x plus y into x square minus xy plus y square. So if you multiply these two, your answer is x cube plus y cube, and so a plus b is a rational number. So rationalizing factor for this cube root a plus cube root b is that, and for that cube root a square minus cube root ab plus cube root b square, its rationalizing factor is this. Okay, in the same way, using x cube minus y cube, we will mention rationalizing factor for this as well. Sixth root. Sixth root a plus sixth root b. First, if you multiply it with sixth root a minus sixth root b, its order will become cube root. And after becoming it as cube root a minus cube root b, use its rationalizing factor there. So always in finding rationalizing factor for a binomial surd or for a trinomial surd, we need to use different algebraic identity formulas, and that's why I am just mentioning you those formulas like x square minus y square, x cube plus y cube, x cube minus y cube, and so we are mentioning. See, if you observe the list, everywhere, if this is the rationalizing factor of that number as well, that is the rationalizing factor of this number. Okay, just try to observe everything. And one more thing, here we need to use what? Opposite signs also. See, for suppose if I have fourth root a plus fourth root b, its rationalizing factor is this product. Whereas if you have fourth root a minus fourth root b, then its rationalizing factor is fourth root a plus fourth root b into root a plus root b. In the same way, here I mentioned you about 8th root a minus 8th root b. For suppose 8th root a plus 8th root b if you have, then you need to multiply it with 8th root a minus 8th root b in the first step, and then the other parts are same. Okay, so just have a look here. In this, see, just like 6th root a plus 6th root b, there is a chance to write the rationalizing factor for 6th root a minus 6th root b also. And these are very useful, and then repeatedly you will face different questions based on the rationalizing factors of these binomial surds in your practice sheets as well as in your computations. Okay, just have a look. You need to follow the definition of rationalizing factor to find the rationalizing factor of the given number. Sixth one, finding rationalizing factor for a trinomial surd of the format root 2 plus root 3 minus root 7. So to find the rationalizing factors for the surds of this format, what we need to do? See, the first thing is root 2 plus root 3 minus root 7. We don't have any direct formula to find the rationalizing factors for this number. You have a procedure. See, since it is root 2 plus root 3 minus root 7, just change the symbol here and multiply this value into root 2 plus root 3 plus root 7. Okay, just change the symbol here. And see, while multiplication, you just take it as x and this root 7 as y. So x minus y into x plus y. This is simply nothing but root 2 plus root 3 whole square minus root 7 whole square. See, alpha minus beta into alpha plus beta, which is alpha square minus beta square, and this is equals to root 2 plus root 3 whole square. See, root 2 square is 2 plus root 3 square is 3 plus 2ab is simply nothing but 2 root 6 minus root 7 square is 7. So this is equals to 2 plus 3 5 minus 7. 5 minus 7 is minus 2. So 2 root 6 minus 2. Again, it is not a rational number. If it is rational, then we say rationalizing factor of this first number is the other one, but it is not rational. So what we need to do? You just think about this. This is 2 into root of 6 minus 1, right? This is not rational, but to make it rational, we need to multiply with root 6 plus 1, okay? And so, at the end, what you will say? Finally, what it is? Therefore, root 2 plus root 3 minus root 7 into root 2 plus root 3 plus root 7 into root 6 plus 1. This product is a rational number and the value is 2 into 6 minus 1, which belongs to the rational number Q. So finally we say that for this root 2 plus root 3 minus 7, for the given surd, the rationalizing factor is this product. So finding rationalizing factor for trinomial surds happen in this way. Okay. See, here again we used what? A square minus b square formula only. So in this way, easily you will find rationalizing factors for different surds with the help of identity formula. Have a look. Seventh one. we need to find the square root for a binomial cell. For suppose if you wish to find square root for some a plus root b, if you are trying to find the square root for a plus root b, first of all what we need to do is we need to express this a plus root b as like this, square root of say some x plus y plus 2 root xy. We need to express this a plus root b as x plus y plus 2 root xy. Then in this case your answer is root x plus root y simply. Why? Because square of root x plus root y is x plus y plus 2 root xy. So your task is to express this a plus root b as x plus y plus 2 root xy. Then in the sense we need to write b as product of two numbers x and y, okay, such that x plus y is equals to a, such that x plus y is equals to a. If you have this way of identifying two numbers x and y, then easily you will say our answer is root x plus root y. For suppose if you have a number of the format square root of 5 plus 2 root 6. See, what is the square root of 5 plus 2 root 6? Here you just split this 6 as product of two numbers 3 and 2 whose summation is this 5. 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 into 2 is 6. That in the sense expressing 5 plus 2 root 6 as 3 plus 2 plus 2 root of 3 into 2, and finally your answer for this problem is root 3 plus root 2. Right? Is it right? If you have any doubt, just square this root 3 plus root 2, you will get 5 plus 2 root 6. Okay? Square of this root 3 plus root 2 is 5 plus 2 root 6. Right? And one more thing here we need to identify. If square root of a plus root b is equals to root x plus root y, then square root of a minus root b is equals to root x minus root y. If you have square root for a plus root b, then it is easy to identify square root for a minus root b. Since square root of 5 plus 2 root 6 is root 3 plus root 2, if you wish to mention the square root for 5 minus 2 root 6, then your answer is root 3 minus root 2. That much simple. This is something about the square root for a binomial cell. See, using the square root, we may extend the idea for fourth root also. For example, if you wish to find fourth root for 49 plus 20 root 6. How to find fourth root for 49 plus 20 root 6? Fourth root is simply nothing but square root and square root. Two square roots together is fourth root, right? And so I will write it like this: square root of 49 plus, I need to express it as x plus y plus 2 root xy. I need 2 before that irrational third part, but I have 20 here. 20 can be written as 2 into 10, so this is 2 root 100. No, 100 into 6, so 600. See, 20 can be written as 2 into 10. I need 2 outside and the remaining part inside of the root. Okay, just look here. So 10 will become here 100. 100 into 6 is 600. Okay. After this step, we need to identify two numbers. See, 600 can be expressed as 24 into 25, whose product is 600, as well as sum of these two numbers is 49. Okay. You just have a look. See, there are two square roots, one square root and other square root. Okay. Now this 49 plus 2 root 24 into 25. 24 plus 25 is 49. 2 into 24 into 25 and square root. This is the format. So root 25 means 5 plus root 24 whole square. 49 plus 2 root 600 is 5 plus 2 root 4 whole square. So then what we do? This square root and square gets cancelled. This is again square root of 5 plus root 24 means 4 into 6. 4 into 6 means 2 root 6. I have square root of 5 plus 2 root 6. And square root of 5 plus 2 root 6, already we found it as root 3 plus root 2. And finally, fourth root of this 49 plus 20 root 6 is simply nothing but root 3 plus root 2. Okay, if you square root 3 plus root 2, you will get 5 plus root 24. If you square this 5 plus 2 root 24, you will get this 49 plus 20 root 6. And finding square roots as well fourth roots is like this. Have a look. Next one, 8. Square root of x plus y plus z plus 2 root xy plus 2 root yz plus 2 root zx. What is its value? See, this x is simply root x whole square. You need to view in such a way. Since we are discussing the formulas or the direct ways, so I am not giving you any descriptive proof. Okay. See, x is root x whole square, y is root y whole square, z is root z whole square. And this is 2 root x into root y, 2 root y into root z, and this is 2 root z into root x. So if you rewrite it, square root of, see, this total summation is simply nothing but root x plus root y plus root z whole square. I think you all know a plus b plus c whole square. See, a square is x, b square is y, c square is z, 2ab is 2 root xy, 2bc is 2 root yz, 2ca is 2 root zx. And when you observe here, this square root and square gets cancelled, and you left with what? Root x plus root y plus root z, and that's your answer. So you need to express, see, this into this format, like x plus y plus z, 2 root xy, 2 root yz and 2 root zx. But here I have 4. So I will rewrite it like 2 into something. So this is equals to square root of, here I have 12 plus 2 root 15, okay, that's okay, 2 root 15 plus 4 root 5, 4 is 2 into 2, I need 1 2 outside and I will send other 2 inside, so 2 into, when you send 2 inside it becomes 4, 4 5 is 20, plus 4, again it is 2 into 2, 1 2 outside and other 2 inside, so again it is 2 into 4 3 is 12. So square root of 12 plus 2 root 15 plus 2 root 20 plus 2 root 12. Okay, and then see, you just write this 15 as 5 into 3, then this 20 as 5 into 4, this 12 as 4 into 3. Okay, then you just treat 5 as x, 3 as y. Okay, and this 5 is x, take 4 as z, this 4 is z and this 3 is x, right? So 2 root xy, 2 root xz, 2 root, see, just a minute, okay, 3 is y, yz. So xy, yz, zx, and x plus y plus z, if you add 5 plus 3 plus 4 is 12, and so your answer for the problem is what? Root 5 plus root 4 plus root 3. There ends the problem. So this is another type of problems in search which requires to answer. Okay, just have a look. See, another frequent model related to the search is this. You will see the problem will give you two values x and y in terms of search. See, I mentioned you like this. Sometimes the value of x is 1 by 2 plus root 3 and the value of y is 1 by 2 minus root 3, like that also you will get. Okay, and since this is x and this is y, you need to find this particular 3x square plus 8xy plus 3y square. See, don't replace x and y directly here. It becomes a bit complicated. See, for this type of problems, first of all you need to find from this, you need to find x into y. It is very clear, when you multiply these two, gets cancelled and these two gets cancelled, the value of xy is 1. And after identifying x into y, you need to think about x plus y. You just add these two. And what will be your answer? If you add these two, just think it. Just observe this. See, we are adding this. Then the LCM of these two is a minus b into a plus b, which is 5 minus 3, 2. Directly I am writing. Whereas come to the numerator, root 5 plus root 3 into root 5 plus root 3. Root 5 plus root 3 whole square, as well root 5 minus root 3 whole square. So you will get there 2 into 5 plus 3. And when you cancel out this, you will get x plus y as 8. So direct replace substitution and direct replacing x and y values is not acceptable here. So you just first find xy value as well as x plus y value. Now it is easy to find that 3x square plus 8xy plus 3y square, which is simply nothing but 3 times of x square plus y square plus 8xy, and that is equals to 3 into x square plus y square is x plus y whole square minus 2xy plus 8 into the value of xy is 1, and again here this is equals to 3 into x plus y means 8 square minus 2 into 1 plus 8. This is what we need to simplify. 8 square is 64 minus 2 is 62, 62 into 3, okay, 3 2 is 6 and then 186 plus 8. 186 plus 8 is nothing but 194, and that's your answer. So just I mentioned you one example here. See, usually you will face this type of problems frequently in different competitions as well as the practice sheets. Just observe this, and this is the way of solving. Next one. See, if a plus root b power x square minus k plus a minus root b power x square minus k is equals to 2a and a square minus b is equals to 1, then we need to find the value of x. Since a square minus b is equals to 1, what it means? A plus root b into a minus root b, whose product is 1. That in the sense, see, these two are reciprocal to one another. Okay? Since these two are reciprocals to one another, if you take this first term as some t, then it will become 1 by t. Then from there you will get a quadratic and you will solve that quadratic to get the value of t from their x. But indirectly I will give you the value. The value of x is simply plus or minus square root of k plus or minus 1. Okay, so total you will get 4 different values. Okay, plus root k plus 1, minus root k plus 1, plus root k minus 1, minus root k minus 1. This indicates 4 different values are possible for x. Okay, and all those 4 values will satisfy this particular equality. Okay, just observe this as a formula, memorize this, and for proof you need to take it as t. It's reciprocal, it is 1 by t. Then you will get a quadratic here, solve that quadratic to get a t and then to get x. That's the way of proving. But in direct way you need to memorize it like x is equals to plus or minus root of k plus or minus 1, right? Since we are mentioning formula list, and that's your answer. Okay, have a look.